Welcome to Retire Happy, the show designed exclusively for the backbone of our nation, federal employees. Join your well-sought financial advisor, Mamadou Bojang, and his dynamic team as each week we delve into the stories, insights, and tips about your federal benefits and retirement. Buckle up as we embark on a journey to demystify your benefits and retirement so you can make smart and confident choices and retire happily ever after.
Welcome back to Profound Prosperity, where we help federal employees like you approach retirement with more clarity and confidence. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're diving into a topic that's not only timely, but incredibly important if you're within a few years of retiring from federal service. There are some legislative proposals making their way through Congress that could fundamentally shift how your federal retirement works, from potential reductions to the annuity supplement to adjustments in COLAs and even broader benefit formulas. But don't worry. We're not here to sound the alarm bells. We're here to give you clarity. What's real? What's just talk? And most importantly, what steps you can take now to future-proof your retirement. To help us break this all down, I'm joined today by our resident financial expert, Mamadou. Welcome back, Mo. How are you?
Thanks, Alex. I'm great. Always great to be here. And yes, this topic has been on a lot of people's mind lately, especially for those that are within 1 to 5 years of retirement window. So it's really good time for us to kind of discuss this topic.
Outstanding. So let's start with the basics. Give us the landscape. What kind of proposals are we seeing that could affect federal retirees?
Alex, absolutely. So right now we are tracking few big areas, right? One would be the first annuity supplement elimination, right? So some proposals have targeted this benefit, which bridges the income gap between retirement and Social Security when they take Social Security. The other one would be their COLA adjustments, right? These are cost of living adjustments, and certain proposals suggest that slowing or delaying them for future retirees. And then the other one would be their pension formula calculation. There have been discussions around increasing employee contributions and also reducing the benefit calculation, right? So, and the fourth one would be the other structural changes. Everything from shifting eligibility ages to reforming how your survivor benefit are handled, right?
Yeah. Wow, that is a lot. And for our listeners, this might sound a bit overwhelming. So let's use a quick analogy. If your retirement is a three-legged stool, one leg is your pension, one leg is your TSP, and the third leg is your Social Security. If Congress starts sawing at one of the legs, you lose your balance.
Absolutely, Alex. And it's not just about financial shift. It's the timing of those shifts. If a law changes after you retire, you might be grandfathered in. But if the changes happen before you submit your paperwork, it could directly affect you.
Right. So now that we know what's out there, let's kind of make it real.
Okay.
Which of these proposals are just political posturing, and which ones are actually, have a chance?
Actually, it's a great question. Let's talk about likelihood, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, so the annuity supplement elimination, I would put this at probably like a 3. It comes up before, but there's a lot of bipartisan resistance to this, so I don't think that's going to go that far. The COLA reduction, maybe that would be a 5 or 6. This could be phased in gradually and then also framed as a cost-saving measure, and that way they can pass that. Contribution increase, probably around 7. It's more politically feasible to raise employee contributions than to cut benefits outright.
Right. Well, that's really helpful. So listeners, the takeaway here is don't panic, but don't get complacent either. Some of these changes could affect you, especially if you're still actively working.
Exactly, Alex. And that's why it's critical to build what I call the resilient plan, right? Making sure that at least you have a financial plan so that you can take some actions, right? So so some of the action steps you can take now would be what?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the resilience plan. I love that. What can our listeners actually do?
So here are 7 action steps. Number 1, set a retirement window. Know your preferred retirement year and your earliest feasible retirement date. Number 2, max out your TSP contributions, especially your catch-up contributions. If you are 50 or older, this builds flexibility. Number 3, build a cash reserve. Have at least 12 months to 24 months of expenses of liquid assets. This protects you from delays in pension benefit processing and also legislative uncertainty. Number 4, stress test your plan. Model what-if scenarios like pension is cut by 5% or COLA is delayed. Can you still meet your retirement goals? Is very important. And also stay informed, right? What I would say is subscribe to our newsletters, right, which we probably put like a lot of good information. Also, there are good websites out there like, FedSmith, like, OPM updates and all that. Number 6, delay retirement if feasible. If you're not worried about changes, right, stay on the job. One more year can have a big impact on your retirement. Number 7, revisit your lifestyles, right? Make sure that your legacy goals, right, are all important. What are some of the things that you do in retirement? Make sure you make some changes to that.
Outstanding. And that last one is key. Your financial plan should reflect your life plan.
Exactly.
Not the other way around.
Exactly. As you said, what I always tell people, the money should serve your mission, not to define it.
No doubt. Do you have a case story you can share and kind of bring to life, something a little more realistic?
Sure. So one of our clients, well, let's call her like Rita. It's a 62-year-old federal employee planning to retire in 2027. She heard about these legislative changes, like, rumblings, and then started getting like really, really nervous, right? So she came into the office. We'll walk her through 3 scenarios. 1, no changes, moderate changes, and also a worst-case scenario. She discovered that by making some of these scenarios, maxing out her TSP and also pushing our retirement to 2028, right? She has a very, very strong buffer regardless of what happens, right? So, as a matter of fact, she felt really good and then feel like at least she doesn't have to feel in that anxiety. And
more importantly, she got some peace of mind.
Absolutely.
And that's really hard to put a price tag on.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
So let's recap. The retirement landscape for federal employees might be shifting, but you're not powerless. You can prepare, you can adapt, and even thrive in uncertainty.
That's right, Alex. Don't base your plan on fear. Base it on flexibility and clarity.
Outstanding. Well, thanks again for joining us, Mamadou. Thanks to our listeners. If you found today's episode helpful, consider sharing it with a colleague or a friend who's also thinking about retirement. Next week, we'll dive into how we navigate Medicare decisions as a federal retiree. Until then, take small, steady steps toward the retirement you deserve.
Until next time, stay informed, stay financially savvy, and keep shining as the backbone of our great nation. This has been Retire Happy, your benefits and your future. We've got you covered. Axiom Value Wealth Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. This platform is solely for informational purposes. Investing involves risk and possible loss of principal capital. Likes, endorse, and approve are not intended to be endorsements of our firm, our advisors, or our services. Please be aware that while we monitor comments left on this page, we do not endorse or necessarily share the same opinions expressed by site users. While we appreciate your comments and feedback, please be aware that any form of testimony from current or past clients about their experience with our firm is strictly forbidden under current securities laws. Please honor our request to limit your post to industry-related educational information and comments. Third-party rankings and recognitions are no guarantee of future investment success and do not ensure that a client or prospective client will experience a higher level of performance or results. These ratings should not be construed as an endorsement of the advisor by any client, nor are they representative of any one client's evaluation.